Well, to discuss Barack Obama's jobs package, we're joined in the studio by economics correspondent Stephen Long. And Stephen, there's no doubt that's a re-election start, I would imagine. What do you think of the way it's been structured?
It's interesting, Ali, that it's heavily tilted towards tax cuts. So there's an extension and ratcheting up of payroll tax concessions, tax breaks for small business for hiring new workers, special tax incentives to hire veterans, in the long run unemployed. And that's clearly all designed to try and wedge the Republicans and win congressional support. There's also more classical Keynesian-style fiscal stimulus in the form of construction, which is seen to have big multiplier effects, create a lot of jobs, building the bridges and roads that are decaying in America, and even an echo of our building the education revolution with investment in schools. Now, that's less likely to get support, particularly with the Tea Party element of the Republican Party seeing government spending as a bad thing and just adding to the debt load.
And one of the things the Republicans have hated are tax hikes, particularly on the rich. Is that in there anywhere?
Well, there's an interesting trade-off there. There's a couple of trade-offs that are interesting. One is that clearly the congressional committee that's been charged with looking for the offsets for this spending down the track will be targeting the Democrat base with cuts to welfare spending and Medicare. But Obama, in his speech, has made it clear that a lot of these measures are actually contingent on closing corporate tax loopholes, special interest concessions to the oil industry and other powerful vested interests, and also tax breaks for the very wealthy, millionaires and billionaires. And he's basically saying, do you want teachers hired? Do you want the long-term unemployed hired? If you do, you've got to close these tax breaks. Again, that's going to be difficult to get through. So there is some pessimism that this will even get up, let alone work.
Well, indeed. How's he going to pay for it? Because some of it's trade-off, but there's a lot of just largesse there.
Well, they're in a difficult balancing act because the economy is in the doldrums right now with the unemployment rate above 9%. They've had coming up for 3 years with interest rates at zero and the Federal Reserve throwing massive amounts of credit stimulus at the economy, pushing on a string, just not achieving anything. So they're trying a second round of this style of fiscal stimulus after the $830 billion package in 2009. Well, clearly it's incremental. It's no silver bullet. The President has acknowledged that. And they've got to trade off short-term stimulus against long-term cuts to spending in a world where there's just too much debt. This isn't going to be the ultimate remedy. It's not going to save America. And you're already seeing that pessimism in global financial markets at the moment. But I don't think anyone thinks that it won't make some difference.
Yeah, but it's got to get through the Congress first. Stephen Long, many thanks.
You're welcome.